Welcome to the podcast Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook, where we will discuss the latest and most relevant business strategies to help you do one thing extremely well: sell more homes. We'll discuss everything from business planning to lead generation and conversion to past client customer service and everything in between. Join us for authentic conversations and nuts and bolts takeaways you can implement into your business today. And now, Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook.
Hey, we're back for another episode of Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook. Last time we talked about the coronavirus, right? Kelly, you still holding in good at home?
No, I'm just kidding. That's probably not a funny joke, is it? Right? That is a fake call.
At least we are far apart and only meeting on teleconference. So
that's right. I'm at the home office here, and so we do have social distancing occurring. We are definitely staying home. We are trying to be part of the solution, not the problem, obviously, right? So doing all we can, right? Now it's just a waiting game to hopefully, let the powers that be solve the problem.
Exactly. And so last week we kind of talked about what you can do on your own, to kind of get through this, not only get through this, but really thrive after this. We're all working from home, right? We got kids.
I get it. I got small kids too. So we all go through the same thing with the kiddos. Yep, absolutely.
But this week, we kind of want to dive into that stimulus package that got passed, right? And the CARES Act. There are a lot of stuff in it that I'm not going to take the time to go through, but Kelly has a little bit gone through all of that, done some wonderful reading, I'm sure.
Yes.
And we kind of want to break down what that means for small business owners, what that can mean for independent agents, and what that's all looking like right now, as best as we can figure it out, right? I mean, bills are crazy in depth, but Kelly's broken it down a little bit for us. So you want to get into that?
Yeah, no, thanks for that intro into that, Elizabeth. So guys, this is very timely right now. Today is Friday, April 3rd, right? And so this is the first day that the U.S. Treasury Department said they would have funds available for part of the CARES Act and through the PPP program. So payment protection something, right? I don't know what it's saying. There's three P's. Let's see. I'll figure it out for you.
Paycheck
Protection Program. There you go. A lot of P's. Okay.
I do know a little bit about it.
Yeah. So the PPP, right? Definitely. And then you also have the economic disaster injury loan as well. Both things are part of that program. But here's why it's important, guys, because it is a very good economic booster for small businesses and in independent contractors as well. So guys, independent contractors, if you are a solo agent out there, you are eligible. Okay. Now here's the thing. If you're on a team and you're still an independent contractor, the team cannot file for you on your behalf or anything of that nature, because you have to. It basically all comes from where your 1099 is received from, the entity your 1099 is received from. So as a team, if you don't cut checks to your agents, then you cannot consider those agents as part of this PPP. Okay. That being said, your broker, obviously, if they're cutting the checks directly for their portion of the commission they receive per a closing, then as the individual agent, you have to then individually apply for some funds under this PPP. But this is awesome. I mean, it really is. So there's a lot of details going on about it. We don't know everything just quite yet, Elizabeth, but this is the first day that the federal government did say they would have funds available. So I am applying. Spoke to my banker today already. I've been speaking with them all week for that matter. And we are applying to start that process. When the funds will be made available and how soon they will arrive, that's still yet to be determined, unfortunately. But here's the qualifications, guys. If you do have a team or do have an employee or two or more, as long as you have under 500, which I assume most people listen to this podcast qualify for that, right? Under 500, then you do qualify for the PPP. What it will do is allow you to receive a loan from the federal government, okay, that for an 8-week period. So basically you're going to amortize your payroll for the last 12 months, divide by 12, right? Times 2.5 times, okay? That's what you're eligible to receive up to. Now, 75% of whatever it is, the loan amount you take does have to go towards payroll, and you cannot lay any of your employees off, okay? Because that's what it's there for, to keep people employed. The other 25% can be used to other things that are part of your business, such as your office mortgage, office rent, utilities, things of that nature. Okay, so that's pretty cool as well. And here's the best part about it: if after some period of time, after the 8 weeks, further that could be extended out, but as we know right now, at some point in the near future, after that time period that you receive the money and you paid it out for the appropriate expenses that have to do with your job, your business, your work, etc., then that money can be is eligible to be 100% forgiven. So that's free money, right? Which is phenomenal. So I highly recommend everyone to look in this, take advantage of it, obviously, right? Keep your staff, your employees employed, and hopefully over the next 2 months, which is designed for 8 weeks, right? Or 2 months, hopefully the coronavirus starts to get figured out, and the market starts to be less volatile, and we get this figured out. But that's the deal right now. So I would highly recommend everyone to check with your local banker, check with your CPA, and figure out how you can apply to be on the list to receive that loan, which then upon the appropriate proof will then be forgiven and essentially a grant. So it's free money, which is awesome. Now there is also a second part of this whole CARES Act. It's we mentioned earlier, the economic disaster injury loan. That is more of a true loan. There are some rumors or whatever, right? Some people saying that possibly up to $10,000 of the loan that you could get through that program could be forgiven and become therefore a grant. But that, for the most part, is a loan. It's different than PPP. It's very low interest rate, and it's through the SBA Association, right? Small Business Administration. But that's more of a loan. The PP is more of a longer term one. You can keep borrowing money for quite some time, whereas the PPP is truly this little unknown time period we're in right now. We're all social distancing, right? We all are trying to beat this virus, flatten the curve, right? That kind of thing. And therefore, hopefully business will be somewhat back to normal in 2 months. That's the idea here. And people will still remain employed during that time. So big relief, $350 billion towards this program. And U.S. Treasury already said that they think that will be enough. But if not, they are prepared to allocate more to that fund as well, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. But definitely this should get the economy and people employed and so on and so forth. So the real estate business count, independent contractors count. What they said, and here's a little tip too. If you're an independent individual agent, a 1099 contractor, if you take your commissions, this is how they're saying it's going to be rolled out. Your commissions, divide that by, add it up for the course of the year, divide by 12. That is the amount times 2.5 that you then potentially can receive as payroll for yourself, right? To get you by for the next 8 weeks, which then potentially could be forgiven if you actually used it for, payroll for yourself, right? So that one's, I don't have all the details because I'm not in that boat. I'm a small business, owner at this point, and I'm really concerned about obviously keeping my staff and not just weathering the storm, but hopefully taking market share during this time and being very positive and seeing how trying to find the little silver linings here, right?
Right.
So I'm much more familiar with the PPP from that standpoint. So that
Do
was
you
a lot of
know
information.
one more piece of information? Just I don't know if you know the answer to this, but is there I know that it's kind of over this next 2 months is when this loan period is. Is there a cutoff for when people can apply for that? Do you know?
Don't know yet.
Okay.
Don't know yet. And I don't know if the federal government's even put that out yet. And here's
Okay.
the thing too, which is interesting, is like, even if you don't, the portion of the money you receive for the PPP, if you use it for something else besides maybe work related or maybe not, but use it for something besides what's actually approved, payroll, utilities, office rent, etc., it appears that the part that's not forgiven will then become a loan, but the interest rate on that money is
Really low.
0.5% at a fixed rate. So, I mean, if you're a bank, are you really that, I don't know, motivated to to roll that out, right? I mean, you're gonna make nothing on it, pretty much, right? But it wasn't your money to begin with. You're gonna facilitate it, so I don't know if they're gonna do anything more for the banks from that standpoint, besides paying them a 0.5 point on that loan money. But because there's a big rollout here, right? A lot of banks are doing, which takes a lot of manpower, employees, people working. So hopefully, I'm sure they're going to make money. I mean, listen, the banks always make money, right? So they'll figure it out.
Always.
So yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you for all that information, Kelly. I know that, things are changing day to day, and it's a lot for us to navigate through all of this right now. So thank you for kind of condensing that and kind of putting it into simple terms for us to really. And for all of you agents, if you guys want to get in on this, like Kelly said, contact your CPA, your banker, whoever you need to kind of find out more information and apply for that. And Kelly, if they have any questions for you about this or any other real estate topic, where can they reach you? At home, I assume.
Yeah, I'm at home. Now we're still doing virtual appointments. That's a whole other conversation, which maybe we'll touch on next week, right? Assuming no other crazy news. I really want to get this news out right now because it's very applicable to the message of the market for the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 months there. So hopefully people can use that, hear it, get a quick hit here, and then be able to know what to do to try to take advantage of getting some help here financially for the next 8 weeks. But yeah, they can reach me at 480-442-9868 or at kelly@kellycookhomes.com. And we'd be happy to answer any questions, guys, and help anybody else out. I mean, we got to be all in this together. This book right behind me here, The Shift. I was in this since 2005. I rode the market all the way down last time and then back up to where we are today, right? So this is nothing new. Obviously, the circumstances are different, but this is nothing new in terms of market shifting. So we know how to navigate this and looking forward to, the market goes up, it goes down. And so you just got to figure out how you're going to navigate through the down times to get back to the good times, right? So a lot of people will go away, even in the real estate industry during this time. So the people who are really, not burying their head in sand, but looking up and working even harder, doubling down on everything they're doing, are going to survive and be just fine.
Absolutely. And we hope that's all of you. So
yes.
We will see you next time. And thanks for listening.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Welcome to the podcast Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook, where we will discuss the latest and most relevant business strategies to help you do one thing extremely well: sell more homes. We'll discuss everything from business planning to lead generation and conversion to past client customer service and everything in between. Join us for authentic conversations and nuts and bolts takeaways you can implement into your business today. And now, Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook.